The United States Supreme Court just ruled unanimous 9-0 in favor of the National Rifle Association. Wait till you hear what happened in this case of the NRA versus Maria Vullo. I want to thank the sponsor of the video. It's got me running today, and that's Blackout Coffee. This is our brand new, it's awesome too, premium instant coffee. It's freeze-dried like they do at NASA. We had our coffee freeze-dried. You just tear it open, pour it into a cup, and add some hot water, and you are on your way. You can keep these anywhere. Your pocket, your backpack, your fishing tackle gear, hunting gear. Think about all the places you can take this. Truck driving over the road, blackoutcoffee.com/GNG is the place to be. Use code GNG10 to save 10% on your order and get caffeinated with the best coffee in America. All right, so this case focuses on whether Maria Vullo, who was the former superintendent of the New York Department of Financial Services, also called DFS, whether she violated the First Amendment by allegedly coercing regulated entities to disassociate from the NRA due to its gun promotion advocacy. Now, some key points in this decision, it's 31 pages long, include 1, the background of the case. The NRA contracted with DFS regulated entities for insurance policies for Carry Guard. Vullo began investigating the NRA's insurance programs after a tip from a gun control group, and she found that the Carry Guard program violated New York law by insuring people against intentional criminal acts and being promoted without the required license. Now, NRA was wrong because they didn't have the insurance license to sell insurance, but their Carry Guard was not insuring people against intentional criminal acts. It was insuring them in case they had to defend themselves with a firearm. Different, but the spin was there. Number 2, the actions by Vullo. Now, Vullo allegedly pressured insurance companies, such as Lloyd's of London, to cease providing insurance to gun groups, especially the NRA, in exchange for leniency on other regulatory infractions. And Sonia Sotomayor is the one who wrote this decision, and she even wrote in there that Vullo told Lloyd's that we're not interested in your other problems you have, just specifically the ones with the NRA. And if you were to disassociate yourself from the NRA, we would just maybe not worry about that other stuff. That's called bribery. The third big thing is the First Amendment claim the NRA brought. Now, the NRA claimed that Vullo's actions were coercive and aimed at punishing or suppressing the NRA's advocacy, thus violating the First Amendment. The Supreme Court found that the NRA's allegations stated a plausible First Amendment claim. The court emphasized that government officials cannot use their authority to suppress disfavored speech, whether it's directly or indirectly. Well, what did the court decide? The Supreme Court vacated the Second Circuit's decision, which had ruled in favor of Vullo by considering her actions as permissible government speech and legitimate enforcement. Now, the case was remanded back to the Second for further proceedings consistent with the Supreme Court's opinion that Vullo violated the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Now, Justices Gorsuch and Jackson filed concurring opinions agreeing with the judgment, but providing additional views on the case. The Supreme Court reaffirmed that using government power to coerce third parties into punishing or suppressing speech violates the First Amendment. Well, that sounds exactly like what happens on Twitter. Well, not so much on Twitter anymore, but on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and you name it. This is a monumental decision. 9-0, unanimous. The Supreme Court very rarely rules unanimously. We had a unanimous decision on a Second Amendment case called Caetano versus Massachusetts. Now we have another one here. Although it's a First Amendment suppression, It's the First Amendment suppressed by a Second Amendment group. And this is a huge win. Guys and gals, the decision dropping today, this morning, means that the Supreme Court is starting to drop their decisions before the end of the term in June, the end of June. We have at least one other decision we're worried about. That's the Rahimi decision, which means we're literally hours to days away from that dropping. You want to stay up to date? Well, when that drops, then subscribe to Guns and Gadgets. Easy for me to say. The button's right down there. It's easy. It's free. Hit the like button, share this information, and turn the bell notification on to all notifications. Trying to hit a goal of 700,000 subscribers by my birthday, July 25th. I would appreciate if you could help me reach that goal. 9-0 on a case in favor of the National Rifle Association. Comment down below, how much did that hurt the liberal justices? You know it was way up in there. But they stood for the Second Amendment, for the First Amendment, in a Second Amendment entity. And they did their job, and they did it well. It's a good decision. If you want to read it, I'll link it down below. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry your gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. You are your own first responder. Take care.